Hi, I'm Lisset King.
And I'm Brittney King, and welcome to Honest Feedback, a podcast here for you. We are here on the internet offering advice, alternative perspectives, our opinions, lots of this coming from our own lived experience to help and support you with whatever has been on your heart, on your mind. And people have come to both of us, in our community. They're like, hey, I want to know what actually both of you think about this thing. So we decided to just start recording that.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. My amazing wife, Lisset King, is an emotional ninja, also known as a trainer and master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, mental emotional release, and hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
It's life-changing work. I had to add a little DJ
I
sounds,
like
the
that.
bass drop,
I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The bass about to drop in your life.
It is about to drop in your life. Yes. Because once you get to let go of baggage, you get to start living and loving your life of purpose. And I can just share forever about how many gifts I've received from being a part of this work. So yay.
And my magnificent, wonderful, gorgeous wife, goddess Brittney King, is a pleasure priestess. And she helps women connect to their sensuality, their sexuality, and lead their life from a place of pleasure. It is absolutely transformational. Cannot recommend it enough. The work that she does has been really pivotal in my life as well, as far as the integration of my masculine and feminine. So I am so grateful that you're doing the Lord's work, helping women discover that and lead from that place. Yeah.
Thank you. This is a perfect time for you to subscribe to the podcast, share with a friend, write us a review. All of these ways help us to become more searchable, for more people to know about us. And we want to keep doing this because we're having a blast. We hope you're having fun too. And even just hearing people's responses to it, it's just been fantastic. We love serving our community in this way. So help us by subscribing.
Yeah. Help us help you.
Yeah. Okay, baby. What are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about finding that divine partnership while following your own path. And we'll get more into the details of this, but it's just something that we're both very passionate about. What has been your experience of, say, finding partnership when you weren't finding your path?
The people on the side of the road, that was not my path. Everybody has a lesson to teach you, I guess. No. But things were just so not in alignment, and it just felt so difficult, so challenging. Yeah. What was your experience?
Well, for a very long time, some of you know this if you've been listening for a while, I dated men, and it was definitely not on my path. I worked at Guitar Center, and I was a bartender, and I would constantly meet male-bodied people that would hit on me and all the things. And while I love a rock star and and working at the bar, there was just a lot of first of all, inappropriate advances. And when people are in the place of that kind of, it's just a darker energy, and I would date a lot of people, and I made my rounds. A girl's got a history. And also it was just so unfulfilling. I found myself just being in a place of this is not fulfilling, but this is where my life is right now. And I need companionship. So it wasn't super great.
I hear you. Well, yeah. I'm really excited to jump in. We actually got this through our DMs, y'all. Yeah. So this is one of the many ways you can reach out to us. This was our first DM, and I was just like, yes, here for it. Everybody, follow suit. Yes. I love a voicemail, love a DM, and I'm so excited to answer this question. So I'm going to start reading.
Yeah.
Okay. I am calling love in. I haven't had a relationship in nearly a decade, and I'm feeling ready to be seen, felt, and heard by a partner. How do I call in these connection while also staying true to the path of living abroad and pursuing my passions? Can we do both? I think yes, but I'm still learning, trying to figure out the roadmap / build my own. Help. Anonymous.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, this was such a good question.
I know.
Yeah. So where to start? First of all, how do you call in love? Girl, you're doing it. Mm-hmm. You're doing it just by being in this space, like declaring it. Step one, mm-hmm. You're declaring it to the world. You're saying, I am ready to call in love. When you're not ready, you won't call it in. And one of the things I want to say is the greatest, most attractive, sexy thing is someone living in their truth. And if you believe it is possible, if you know that it's possible to have love like you do, you're already ahead of the game. There's a lot of people that have to let go of that baggage, that I don't know if I can have love. And you're like, I know it's possible. I know I can do it. And that's step numero uno. Yeah.
I have a deeply personal relationship with this because I feel like it was me living in my truth that led me to my great love. Yeah. Literally, actually. So I was, I was dating men before too. Mm-hmm. And, lots of unavailable people. I mean, some were available, but like, it was fine. They weren't my people. Yeah. And I wasn't on my path. And as I started to have my own spiritual awakening and started to do my own personal development and really get resourced on the places where I needed healing, because I was actually not really open to love or being seen. So there was a baggage problem to start off with. So I had some baggage. Yes. Once I was able to like work through and release that baggage, I started setting my intention of like, I want to call in love. And like, there's some tips that we'll go into. Like I made a magical list, and I really got clear that I wanted to meet someone in a space of something that I loved and something that I truly lit me up. And so then I'm in these spaces and I was like going full ham of like, this is the thing, like I'm going to say yes to all the things that light me up. So like pole dancing, goddess circles, witch coven, dancing in the moonlight, like pendulum classes, like all of these things that were just like, oh, my soul could not get enough. Mm-hmm. And what I realized, I was like, I am looking, and there are no men at any of these spaces that I love, like the spaces that I love the most. Mm-hmm. There happened to be no men there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, interesting, interessante. And so I was like, I started being open to like, what if I was to be open to dating women? And that was like the first entry point when the universe was like, yes, child, please, like open. I'm trying to show you something. And it was there after having some coaching from a life coach who gave me a beautiful invitation to open myself to the love of the universe, that I finally said yes to Lisset's asking me out. It was the fourth time's a charm. Fourth time's a charm. But I had known her for 6 months. Mm-hmm. We'd hung out numerous times. She had also asked me out, and I had said no for all of my reasons. Mm-hmm. And once I was able to drop the baggage and really get clear, like, oh, she's right here. Love is right here. And I wouldn't have seen it before, It wasn't until I got clear of like, these are the places and spaces that really are nourishing me. Oh, there's someone here that also is truly nourishing me.
Oh, I love hearing our story.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It is very cute.
It's very cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with that, I would say, I talked about where the wrong place was. Mm-hmm. But when I started doing my personal development, it was when I started to find relationships that were more in alignment with me. I dated in that pool for a while. I was like, man, you like to grow? I like to grow. Mm-hmm. Let's do this. And I would meet wonderful people, and not everyone is your person, but everyone allows you to get closer and refine your knowing. It's about honoring the relationship for what it is. Just because it didn't last forever doesn't mean it was a failure. Mm-hmm. If you learned something and you got something. So I'm excited for you to get back in that dating pool and just like let it be light and let it be fun. Because when I met Brittney, even I was polyamorous. Like all roads lead to Rome. Like you will get to the person that you're supposed to be with, that is going to expand your consciousness and be right for you, no matter how hard you tried to avoid it.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So I had I remember at a personal development seminar, I met someone who was polyamorous, and I was like, sure, I can do that. And I wasn't really willing to be polyamorous in that moment, but I learned so much about myself through that work that it actually is very much a part of who I am. And then I was like, oh, and then I met people in that circle. And then I met Brittney, and she's like, I've been interested in polyamory for a long time.
For years, I'd been interested.
For years. And so we played in that field and we played in that realm. And I took my relationship with Brittney early on very lightly. I remember we talked about like, this is fun. This is fun. Like we're having a great time. Like full transparency, like we liked to party together. And I was like, is this just like a party girlfriend? Like we're having a good time. Maybe.
What did you say? You thought I was like a good time girl or something? A party girl?
I thought you were like, yeah, I guess so. Something along those lines. I don't remember. It's been a minute. But like we were... Yeah, it was like, oh, we like to smoke weed and we like to get drunk and we like to have like 10 margaritas between us. And what's wild is that despite that, like we were both on the growth path. We were both on the healing path. And we've turned out to be, it's turned out to be the most magnificent love of my life, And if you're on your path and if you're on your travel, like, what a better place to meet someone who likes to travel than while you're traveling.
Yeah.
Yes. And when you declare what you desire in someone, like, I would love for you to share about the magical list. Include that. Include that there's someone who sees you. Include that there's someone who is passionate about travel and wants to see the world and all the things that you're interested in, because what you're seeking is seeking you. Your partner is not in the field. You put they are on this planet. They're doing something. The joke is your partner's out there banging someone else right now, and maybe not. But the point is that they are there for you, and it's just a matter of serendipity and meeting them at the right time and allowing that space for that magic.
Yeah. Well, let me just tell you about the magic part. Yes. So, story time. So I had a friend who was living in Maui at the time, and there was like this story on the islands. There are no men here. There are no men. We can't find any men. There are no la 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 la. Story. I was just like, I don't believe it for a fucking second.
Yeah.
No, unsubscribe. Yeah. I was just like, I don't believe it. So when I went out there to visit her, she was like telling me her story. And I was just like, look, girl, this is what we're going to do. That's not true. I want you to write a magical list. And so with this list, you are going to write, I want you to tap into how does it feel to be with this person? How do you feel? How do they look at you? What do their hugs feel like? How do they kiss? What kind of things are you guys doing together? What are you creating together? Write this all down on a list, and we are going to do some sex magic. So for those who are new to sex magic is a very potent and powerful way to manifest things, because it allows you, when you're having these sexual experiences, you're in heightened states of euphoria and bliss. If you guys are familiar with David Hawkins' map of consciousness, he maps out the different emotional states. So shame is just above dead. Bliss near the top, near enlightenment. So do you see, you're already at a very expansive and open space. Your energy is very high when you're tapping in during sex to that energetic field. I mean, there's lots of different kinds of sex, but we're tapping into that kind. And so what you want to do is get clear on your intention, on your vision of the thing that you are calling to you. And as you are reaching points of climax, you want to send that energy up through your entire chakra system, almost like an ankh, loop it back over your head, through your heart. And I like to send it out of my arms. I literally think of the ankh. That is what I think of when I am doing sex magic. I'm like moving energy through and sending it out. And I'm sending that out to the universe of like, this is what I want. This is what I want. And my experience and my friends, also clients, have had amazing results, because when you are vibrating at that kind of frequency, the universe is like, give it to her, give her exactly what she wants. Like that is such a high level of openness, and the frequency is so strong. You're literally manifesting and pulling things to you so fast.
Yes.
Within a few short months, I want to say like less than 2, she met the man who is now her partner.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Met the man that was now her partner.
On Maui?
On Maui.
But I thought there were no good men
I thought there were no good men on Maui. Yes. You know what? There are airplanes, and this man had flown to Maui. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they have a beautiful relationship, and like the things that they are creating and doing together, it's just truly magnificent beings. So I give you this, like I had a magical list for when I was calling in my partner, and I used things like when they kiss me, my knees get weak, and they're fun and witty but not condescending, and how I wanted to feel, like the hugs were like so like like I don't remember what the word I put was, but it was like it's a very specific kind of hug that when we experience it, we're like, these are like sedatives. Like they're like, we could just melt into the nothingness in this hug, because it just feels so good to our nervous systems. It's a really good hug, but like that was on my list. And I put like growth oriented and all these different things. And so I made my list that felt like in integrity of me, of like what I want. There aren't things like tall on there, like digging deeper, digging to like the truth of like how you want to feel in this relationship. What are you guys creating together? I put partnership, things like that. Yeah. And then met her, so amazing. And then I'd forgotten about the list, and then I refound it, and I was like, oh my God, she's literally line up by line, everything on the list. And then I realized, because at the time when I made the list, I was dating men. And in my head, I was like, I'm making the list of the man I want. But I was making the list of the person I want. Yeah. And the person, she was a she.
Surprise.
It was hilarious. I just had a huge key with the universe, because I was like, you are tricky and sneaky. But like the power of a list.
And I just want to add that, like, the beauty of the element of surprise. Mm-hmm. When you're general enough, you know, like, be specific and also leave room for the magic.
Yep.
Leave room for the magic, because you may not know, while you're on your travels, you might meet someone who doesn't speak your language at all, and you have this incredible connection. Mm-hmm. Unless, you know, speaking the same language is important to you, or a level of communication. But you can communicate. There are infinite ways to communicate. Mm-hmm. So if you left space for magic, you don't even know what's possible.
That's so important.
It's so important, and it's so exciting. And I remember I used to make the list, and I had really specific things that I thought I was attracted to. And I had like green eyes and like 5'7", which you are, but like things that I thought were important to me. And then later I was sitting in a workshop, and they're like, make your list and now cross off everything that you're not. And I was like, oh, well, I don't have green eyes, and I don't have that, and I'm not that, and I'm not that yet. So maybe it's not necessarily fair to ask someone else to be that. And then I got like, it allowed me to remake a list of like what was important to me. For me, it was when we walk into a space, we command a room.
Ooh, yeah.
Which we do.
Yes.
You know, and
that looks different. Like
that looks different.
That looks different. That leaves space for the magic. Like one of my things was great communicator, and not a heavy. I phrased it differently, but my intention was not a heavy purse at a party. All right, now ladies, maybe you've been with me. So you've been to a cocktail party that you didn't necessarily know was a cocktail party. Now you have like a big bag, and there's like nowhere to put it down. So you have to like constantly like,
where do I put this?
Where do I put this thing? And it's cumbersome and it's annoying. There are certain people, when you bring them to a space, they can't hang on their own. Yeah. You have to literally walk with them to each person and introduce them. Like, they can't have their own flow.
Yeah.
Brittney don't like that.
Yeah.
I like to be able to be free and be like, you're good on your own, and I would love for us to connect, but like, I don't have to be the facilitator in the situation. Yeah. And that was on my list. You know, like, it was just like, what's really important? But like, that can look in so many different ways. That's not green eyes.
It's not green eyes. It's I remember it being like, we laughed so hard together. And something you may not know about Brittney, when I first met her, she was a stand-up comic.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like, we belly laugh every single day.
Yeah.
Like, every day, because that's important to me.
It's important to me too. You know? Laughing is important. That was on both of our lists.
I get along with my family.
Yes, community
has great community. And it's funny how often I sacrificed things that were truly important to me for things I thought I wanted or things I thought I was attracted to. And so I allowed every person that I met to go, okay, I loved these things, and out of respect for you, I don't think this is a long-term thing, and I think you want a long-term thing, so I'm going to go be free and find someone else. And so it'll allow yourself to refine that list and just be open. And one of the things I love circling back is there's this part of the story of you were open to love.
Yeah.
And you were seeing the love of the universe everywhere.
Yeah.
And you coached, we were sitting in a class the other day and you coached like, I declare to the universe. How'd you say it?
I declare to the, I am open to receive all of the love of the universe. And when you see it, you say, I see you. I see love.
I see love.
And you say, thank you. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. So that's very important. So you make your declaration, and your words are spells. Your words are spells. So as you speak, you create. That is literally what abracadabra means. As I speak, I create. Yeah. So I am open to all the love of the universe. And then it's like, oh, I see love.
I see
Thank
love.
you. Yeah.
And everything's love. Like your barista handing you a coffee and like adding that little picture at the top. I love when they do that. I'm like, oh, I see love.
I see love.
You know, when I come home and my dogs wag their tail, it's like, oh, I see love. And now your reticular activating system, that pattern recognition part of your brain, is just going, I see love everywhere. And now you can see the love. And that's what opened our eyes to each other. I was mid-relationship, polyamorous relationship with my partner, and we were both wanting to call in new partnership. Like, we wanted to add on to our polycule. And we both made lists, and it was a heart-dropping moment when we realized that who we were for each other was not on that list at all. And I was like, ooh, I want things that I don't have right now, but that are very, very important to me. And Brittney was every single one of them, like earth-shattering sex, like, you know.
That was important to us.
That was important to us. Someone who's like loud and proud to be with me. And it just, it's been so magnificent. And the space for the magic of, I just never knew it could be this good.
Yes. Yeah. This is an important part. We are here as real life examples that you do not have to settle.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. It is part of our life mission that everyone experience a love that is as great or greater than ours.
Yeah.
Because it feels so amazing to be seen and heard and valued and loved unconditionally and just met. And I'm like, even before I had this love, I was like, don't settle, girl. I remember I refused to go to someone's wedding because I was like, you are settling so hard and I cannot bear witness to it.
Yeah.
Cannot.
Yeah.
Refuse to go. That is how much I do believe in not settling. Yeah. So hearing that you are living your truth, you're traveling abroad, you're following your passions, like, yes, queen, continue on that, do that, knowing that your partner is on that path. Yes. Your partner is on your path. Like, anything that is for you will not pass you by. So remembering that, like, it's like there doesn't have to be a scarcity conversation of like, there are not enough men or there are not enough partners or there are not enough people or whatever.
Or there's not enough fish in the sea. That's a bull.
That's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. I think we tipped, there's like 8 billion people. 8 billion people. You tell me not one of them. Not one of them.
Not one.
Not one. There's just no way. No way that there's not someone out there, or someone's, if you're polyamorous.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, there was partners, maybe.
Yeah. And I also, like, here's a shout out for people who do not want to be partnered. I want to respect that as well. That is a life choice. Just like there's women who don't want to have babies, there are people who do not want to be partnered and are so happy being alone. I love you. I respect your choice. This anonymous, I know what you want, and I believe with every fiber of my being that you deserve it, you can have it, and you will have it. Like that is like the foundation of my work. That's the foundation of my belief system. You can borrow this one. Like, one of my sayings for myself is I always upgrade. Always upgrade. And that is absolutely true. I am living in the best house I've ever lived in. I have the best partner I've ever had. I am living the career that I didn't even know was possible as an entrepreneur. I'm in the best position. I always upgrade, and I insist that you take this on and just know that anything that has happened in the past is in the past, and you always upgrade. Own it. Be it. Live it. Scream it from the rooftops. Declare it. It is yours.
It is yours. It is yours. As someone who is a pleasure priestess and works a lot with divine feminine energy, I feel like it's hard to sometimes tap into this level of trusting, you know?
Yeah.
And being your divine feminine is a lot about receiving and connection and moving slower and not like taking the necessary like action steps to go get something. So sometimes it feels like, well, I'm just not sure I know how to trust. I'm not sure I know how to trust that something's good is going to be coming for me because it hasn't shown up yet. But like, this is a really powerful and potent time for you to believe like you've never believed.
Yeah.
For you to act when you are making acts, when you are taking action, it's purposeful. It's something that's nourishing. Like, this is why I love sex magic. Like, talk about pleasuring yourself to call in the things that you want. Like, it's not just with relationships. I've done this with money. Like, I've done this with homes. Like, I'm like, this is the thing that I want. What a wonderful way for me to receive pleasure, to allow the thing that I want to come to me.
Sorry, my little 8-year-old was like, that's right.
It's a powerful time. It's a
Yeah.
powerful time. So I love hearing all the amazing things that you're doing. Yeah. Do you have any last thoughts, or we're feeling complete?
Oof, man. I am a lifelong romantic. I feel like I don't know if it's like my archetype or like whatnot, but like I remember as a kid just always, I wished on every star that I would find love. Like it was like so, and because I wanted it so bad, there's something in the wanting it and that which causes resistance, which causes pushing it away. And I had that for a very long time, and I'd fall in love and I would fall deep, or I had unrequited love and all the things. And leaning on the I always upgrade has actually helped me move beyond that and raised my own personal bar of I won't do that again. Like I had faced certain things where I felt manipulated, or where I was being gaslit, and I was just like never gonna do that again. Lesson learned. And just kept moving and allowing myself to upgrade and allowing myself, but I never gave up that knowing and that being of like a lover, and that I deserve it. And I learned and I tumbled, and I like a little rock in a what are they called, the rock tumblers? Yeah, like my edges got softened. Everything was part of my education to in preparation for the love that I have now. And it's spectacular. And Britt and I, like, by no means are we perfect. We still, we are constantly growing through things. And that is the thing that I've always wished for in a partner, is someone who's willing to meet me in the growth and go, hey, this is uncomfortable for me to say. This is a new thing I'm trying on. Can you love me through it? And it's just those moments really feel what, like, the moments that define us are. It's not about the perfect sunshine or the 5-month honeymoon or the Maui trips and all the things. It's those moments where we can be authentically raw with each other, that we fall deeper in love.
Yeah. Us crying in that hotel room in Moab.
Yeah. That's right.
It was like stop 2 on our honeymoon, and we were like, what have we done?
What have we done?
What have we done? We don't know what we're doing. We don't know if we like to camp. We're out here.
We planned a 2-month camping trip, and we hate camping on day 2. It was very challenging.
It was very challenging.
Yeah, and we cried, and we got vulnerable, and we were like, you know what? We're going to move through with what we want, because if we're not going to settle here, we're not going to settle there. Like, we're going to get some bougie hotels sometimes. We're going to stay with some friends. And we were so divinely held. And that's the other thing, is the universe has got you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Source, spirit, whatever you call it, Beyonce. Like, she's got you. She's got you, and she will always deliver where your heart is. And having that focus on your mind of what you desire and not settling for less, that's going to be what gets you there. Yeah.
Well, this is powerful.
Oh, it's my favorite topic. So slide into our DMs with more love questions, because that's where I get lit up the most.
Yes. And this is, I'm not sure ready to reveal it yet, but the Kings are brewing something very special.
We are.
About love and relationships. So stay tuned, because we will be talking about that more. But this is something that we're truly very passionate about, as you can tell.
Yeah.
We're very passionate about this because, good love. It changes your life. It changes your life in the most magnificent and amazing ways. Like, every day I'm on my own personal acid trip with, like, rainbows coming out of my face and like, this is so good. It's like, I've tried drugs, but have you tried love?
Have you tried love? And not every day is like that. I had a funky 2 weeks. Mercury was in retrograde, and shit was happening. And I'm not going victim to the stars, but as above, so below. It does affect you. And I had a really rough patch, and like, having divine partnership, having someone who can see me through my, like, weepiest weepy and still hold me, like, it teaches me how to love and have grace with those parts of myself that I hadn't always had in the past. So, yeah.
Well, I love you so much.
I love you so much. I love this so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an amazing, amazing episode. I am so happy that Anonymous wrote to us on IG. Here for it.
Yeah.
And if you have a question, you can give us a call at 971-895-4111 or slide into our DMs on IG. We're here for it.
Yeah. And until we meet again, be honest with each other.
Bye.